right, more on the tax cut story. Joining us, Idaho Senator Mike Crapo, incoming chair of the Senate Finance Committee. Senator Crapo, welcome back. Here's a question for you. Have you met yet with Scott Bessent and talked strategy with him?
Well, as a matter of fact, I just met with him about 20 minutes ago. And yes, I have visited with him, and he is very engaged. He's going to be a fabulous Secretary of Treasury.
Well, I agree with that as somebody who was a prime backer. My question, though, is the tax strategy part, because I'm still worried. We had a couple guests on the show, still worried. If tax cuts come second, it could be a distant second. You could be playing Russian roulette with the biggest tax hike in history if we don't get it all done.
Yeah, I did not discuss that in detail with him. He is not yet confirmed as a member of the president's financial team and his economic team. But the bottom line is, I've said to you before, Larry, I understand there's a lot of arguments going on around here in the House and in the Senate, and I presume at the presidential transition team and with the president, and there are strong positions on both sides. My position is that decision will be made by the Speaker of the House, the Majority Leader of the Senate, and the President. And I, as the Finance Committee Chairman, can go whichever direction they want it to go. We will be ready to move when they say what the sequencing is, and we move forward.
Let me ask you, it's a little bit of a different article, which we discussed earlier in the show, different argument. Mr. Trump is going to work whatever his magic is going to be on tariffs. I mean, he has to. The unfair trading system is very substantial. America's got the short end of the stick. He's going to have to go after it, either for reciprocity or broad-based tariffs or whatever strategy he wants to embody. Wouldn't it be better to have tax cuts in place to cushion the blow of tariffs? Foreign countries, foreign companies will bear the burden. All right, they'll have to cut prices. Their currencies will go down. But American companies may have one-time price hikes. American consumers might have one-time price hikes. It would be better to cushion all that with lower taxes. You recall in 2017, in the fall, December really, we got the tax cuts done. And then the tariffs came in 2018. Wouldn't you want that same sequence now? Tax cuts first, then tariffs?
Well, I believe your point makes sense, Larry. The bottom line is I have not discussed that issue. I don't even know specifically what the president's tariff strategy is. But the bottom line is I don't believe that we should tie tariffs, or frankly, I don't believe we should tie taxes to anything. We must not delay the passage of the tax bill any further than is necessary. But if the president decides that we need to wait and do it after we do the border and do the defense support and the energy policy, which I know is one of the arguments being made, then I can work with that. We can do it.
Can you set up a reconciled tax strategy? I use reconciled, House and Senate. Can you set that up in a couple of months? You know, let's say the first one out the door is going to be energy and the border and defense. Let's just say, all right, can you put something together, a tax policy, let's say by April, for example, that could then get into the legislative flow?
Yes, I believe we can, Larry. As a matter of fact, my position is, when the president and the leaders of the House and the Senate give us a timeline, we can meet that timeline. We will meet that timeline.
And are you going to hold hearings, or do you already know? I mean, I think most people kind of know, you know, extending the tax cuts. I know there are going to be some issues of contention. You've got the cash tips tax-free. You've got overtime. But I mean, you know, everybody, the whole country wants it. Consumer confidence is up. Business confidence is up. If the tax cuts don't materialize, all that's going to come back down. The stock market will come back down also.
You're right about that. And failure to do the extension of the TCJA and to adopt some of those other key tax provisions you're talking about, failure to do that is not an option. And yes, we can get that job done.
All right. I'm going to hold you to it, Senator Mike Crapo. I'm going to hold you to it. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.